have our Stylus Plus handpiece here. The burr has already been removed in the operatory, and we've purged the water through the handpiece on the delivery unit hose for a minimum of 30 seconds just to flush any of that water out after the procedure. We're going to do the washing portion of the process now, and we're going to use our Midwest Plus handpiece cleaner to clean the outside of this. We're just going to spray that liberally on the outside. We're going to take a soft sponge or a soft cloth and just clean up the outside, remove any visible debris off the outside of the handpiece. We're going to make sure we want to pay attention to the little fiber optic light window right here. We want to make sure we get that good and clean so the light shines through good. We don't want to spray, wipe, or soak this handpiece in any disinfectants, alcohol, or chemicals. We just want to use plain water or the Midwest Plus cleaner. So once we're done washing, we can just rinse this off with water and dry with a paper towel. And then we're ready for the next step in the process. So we have our Stylus Plus handpiece here by Midwest. We've already completed the washing portion of the process, so we've cleaned off the outside. Now we're going to work on the lubricating and expelling the handpiece. What we want to look at first is the chuck maintenance. So chuck maintenance is to be done once a week. Two ways we can do that. We can use our dropper oil here. If we remove the cap, we can just go ahead and put 2 drops of oil in the burr tube and go ahead and work that push button. That's going to help that lubricate that chuck assembly. If it's tight when you're doing burr changes, or it's hard to change the burrs, or it's hard to push the button, that lubrication is going to help that process. Again, and that's just once a week. The other way we can do this is with our Midwest Plus spray. It comes with the cap already on here, and the tip of that cap has this little black point coming out of it. So if we remove this cover, this little black point will go right up to the burr tube. Just line it up there, just do a quick burst of that cleaner, and that's going to lubricate that chuck area in there. Again, just work that button. Use a towel here to wipe off the excess cleaner that sprayed out. But that's going to be your weekly maintenance for that. Doesn't need to be done after every use, just once a week. And that's going to help that button work freely. When we're talking about weekly maintenance, we want to remember this is a good time to go into the operatory and lubricate the O-rings on the coupler that's attached to the hose in the operatory. Again, we can use our dropper oil on this, and we're going to just put 1 drop of oil on each of these O-rings. Go ahead and just lubricate those O-rings the whole way around. This is going to help in snapping the hand pieces on and off all the time. Make sure those O-rings seal good, and going to make them last longer, that they're not going to wear out. So when you're doing your chuck maintenance on the one day, just go through the operatories and lubricate all the coupler O-rings. That's going to help them to last longer. So now if we go ahead and take a look at the after every use maintenance, we're going to use our Midwest Plus aerosol spray. And since this is a coupler based handpiece system, when you received the handpiece, it would have came with one of these plastic nozzles or like a little plastic plug in the back end. This is for your manual maintenance. So depending on what back end you have, whether it's M style or K style or any of the other variations, would have the correct nozzle to fit that coupler back end. So we're going to take this nozzle and it's going to press onto the cap. This cap comes with the can of manual spray. Just give it a little twist and it'll fit right on the end there. And now we can snap our handpiece onto that nozzle just like that. We're going to take a clean paper towel and cover the head of the handpiece. We're going to do a 1 to 2 second burst of cleaner and lubricant. Usually tell people by the time you get the button all the way down, just go ahead and release it. That's usually enough. Snap that off of there. We're going to take a look on the towel here where that sprayed into the towel. You can see that just looks clear, like cleaner and lubricant, and it's nice and clean. If you saw any black debris or anything show up here on the towel, you want to go ahead and use the can and spray it a second time. We want to make sure we're getting all that debris out before we go to expel. So now to expel the handpiece, since this is again a coupler based back end, to use these machines we're going to need to install a maintenance adapter, and again they're all different depending on what type of coupler you're using, whether it's K style, M style, etc. So you need to snap the correct maintenance adapter into the back end to do this manual maintenance. We're going to use these machines. This is a Midwest Air Station. It's obsolete, but there's still a lot of them out there. This is another air station from another manufacturer. Basically does the same thing. All that they do is blow air through so that when you're sprayed all that lubricant and cleaner in there, we need to blow it all out. So we just leave a film or coating of the oil on the bearings and critical components inside. So we're going to take a paper towel, a clean paper towel, hold that over the head of the handpiece, place it onto the station here. And you want to run this for about 30 seconds, and we're going to keep moving this paper towel around as we run it. What you want to be able to do, like I said, a minimum of 30 seconds, but as you move the paper towel around, get it to a dry spot, keep wiping it off until you see that there's no more oil and cleaner coming out, that the paper towel's coming away dry. Once you know that there's no more oil and cleaner coming out, you know that you're good to go. You can let that off. We don't want any oil coming out in the next procedure, so we want to make sure all that excess oil is out of the handpiece. We can go ahead and remove the maintenance adapter from the back end of the handpiece. We're going to take a clean paper towel and go ahead and wipe any excess oil off the outside of the handpiece. And now this would be ready to place in the sterilization pouch. Be sure to sterilize this following the product instructions for use. There's detailed instructions on there for proper sterilization.